this edition of the Falls Township Zoning Hearing Board for November 10th. We will begin our meeting with received a letter for a motion or a letter requesting withdrawal of application from a selco partnership. We'll have our solicitor read the letter in brief now. Keith, if you would.
Sure. Mr. Chairman, we received a letter from Selco Partnership today, signed by Christopher Schubert, who's the attorney representing the applicant. As you may recall, this matter was continued, I believe, 2 months in a row. They were trying to work out some matters with the township. It appears that things have worked out, and they're asking to withdraw their application. And the letter's dated November 10th. We will make that part of their application and just place it in their file. No vote is needed.
So the application is so withdrawn. Okay. We will now move on to petition number 1 for Kathleen and Robert Mannon, 46 Main Street, Fallsington, PA. They're requesting a dimensional variance to construct an in-ground pool within the front yard setback of Old Locust Avenue. Okay, do we have Kathleen and Robert with us?
Yes, we do.
Oh, both of you guys. Okay, Kathleen and Robert, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to have you guys sworn in by our court reporter. The next voice you hear will be hers, okay?
Okay.
Do you both swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Now, we're going to have our solicitor mark some of the exhibits are going to go towards your petition, okay? And after that, we're going to turn it over to you guys to speak. All right?
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, we'll mark the application for zoning ordinance appeal ZHB1 along with the accompanying statement from the Mannons. 2 will be the permit denial letter from Falls Township dated September 16th, 2020. 3 is a letter from the Historical Architectural Review Board. 4 is a copy of the impervious calculation sheet. 5 is a pool permit plan.
I can learn to understand you much better if I can get familiar with the way you talk. I need your permission to help.
Continue on.
Someone has to mute their audio. Stephen, can you mute yourself? Thank you. Go ahead, Dan.
I'll pick back up with number 5 is a pool permit plan submitted by Kenneth Seeley. 6 will be neighbor and applicant neighbor notification letters dated November 2nd. 7 will be the Zoom notification to the applicants. 8 will be proof of publication in the Bucks County Courier Times showing this matter was published October 27, 2020, and then again November 3rd, 2020. 8 will be 4 pages containing 4 color photographs, one of which shows that the property was posted as required. That is all the board exhibits, Mr. Chairman. I'm satisfied all the appropriate notices have been satisfied. This matter can proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Billingmeyer. Okay. Kathleen, what's going on with the relief you're asking for the pool?
For the pool? Well, we just decided, I think with everything going on with the COVID pandemic, our life has been halted from travel. And we just decided that it's something that we want to invest in so our family can have some enjoyment. And that's really basically it.
Okay. So at this point, I'm going to ask some of my board may have some questions for you guys regarding, the lot, the placement of the pool, stuff like that. Okay. Colin?
I have none.
Okay. Thank you. Bill?
And the only, I guess not, it's a question is, I have no problem with the pool. It's just that I would, if this gets approved, I would like to see the, for the township records to make sure that the impervious circuit and surface and building coverage calculation sheet is filled out completely and correctly. There might be some stuff missing off of here and, just the calculations, that's all. I believe it's under the, the code, so I'm not worried about that, just that it's being submitted in an official document. I think it should be correct. That's all I have.
Scott?
Yeah, just looking at this, I'm curious about with the pool
and the fence that's going around the yard. Are you going to be satisfied with that fence that's there? I'm just curious going forward in the future, is that going to be something that gets changed out also?
Are you speaking with us? Oh, you're speaking with us.
Yes.
Okay.
So as of now, the fence that's there doesn't meet code. So we're gonna pull it down and put a fence that actually meets the pool code and the height before he's done installing the pool.
Or final inspection.
Yeah, or
We are
final
aware that it
inspection.
needs to be raised.
Yeah.
Okay, with that being said, because you're also going to be requiring a variance for that, if you change that to any kind of a privacy fence or any other type of fence that's not visibly see-through like that. If you want with a picket fence or a split rail fence, something like that is a doable fence. But I'm just curious of what kind of fence you intend to put back up there.
So what is acceptable?
I know a chain link fence is. I know a split rail fence is without getting a variance for that.
So
No pickets?
can I ask you a question? Why do we need a variance to put a solid picket fence in?
I'm not sure completely on that, but I know that it is it's not in it's in your front yard because it's considered the front yard. I think there's a variance needed for that. Matt, if you can just help me out on that, if I'm
I mean,
right.
I don't want to argue with you about it, but I mean, I just didn't understand why, that's all.
On corner lots, the secondary front yard cannot have a fence that exceeds 4 feet in height, and it cannot be opaque. Now, you're going to have a direct conflict with the building code and that requirement, because the building code is going to require, at the very least, a chain link fence. If you're not going to do that, then you'd need a variance. If you're going to put in, say, like a solid vinyl fence, then you would need a variance because it's going to be solid.
Okay, so solid.
Let me ask you, how about a shadow box? No, it needs to be solid to meet pool code, right?
A shadow box would meet the building code requirements, but it would not meet the zoning requirements.
Right.
There would still be a visual barrier on an angle, obviously, it would be opaque. So it would be like an aluminum picket would be acceptable, obviously having to be 54 inches for pool code.
Okay, so
And-
that.
So you would need, yeah, if you're going to try to do a vinyl 6-foot fence in that spot, it would need further variance, and that's good.
Yeah.
good
I think what we were going to try to do was meet the minimum height requirement for the pool code, because we are on a corner, and but we would like to have a solid board. So you know, obviously we could have some privacy. It's like living on 95 on a corner here.
If I could ask the board, I can meet with the property owners. If the board's inclined to grant this variance, I can meet with the property owners to discuss the fence issue. And if they do need a variance for the fence in order to meet the building code, would the board be okay with us just reopening the hearing instead of having them pay new fees and everything else like that?
I would rather them not have to pay another fee for this, absolutely. I mean, I'm sure that they would feel the
But then
same
they would
way.
have to reappear before you.
Yeah, I mean, if Keith, is that okay for us to,
It would have to be advertised.
it would have to be advertised anyway, right? So would it
Right.
make any sense to would it make more sense to continue this motion at this point, or?
Are you asking me, Dan?
Yeah, or vote on this, or make a motion on this portion of the petition, then bring them back in for the fence portion, or?
Yeah, I think it's better that we handle what they're asking for, the relief for today. We handle that.
Okay.
And if there's an issue with the fence, we can address it as Matt suggested.
Yeah, that might be a better idea. That way, whatever happens tonight, if it were to be denied for some reason, you would then not really maybe have to worry about the visual barrier or fence. So, but
Right. Yeah.
I'm not leaning any other way. I'm just
No, I agree. I think we'd rather know what eggs
Yeah.
are going to be in our basket. So
Absolutely,
I
yeah,
appreciate
okay.
that. Okay.
Dan,
That sounds amiable.
Dan, wouldn't they need a variance for the fence in the secondary side yard since they're replacing the other fence?
That's what we're talking about.
That's where, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but just for the side yard, let alone the type of fence too, right?
Correct.
Okay, that's what I thought you
And
said.
I'll go
Thank
back. Mr.
Well,
Mrs.
let me ask you this. Do I already have a variance because the fence is in the exact same spot it's going to be put back in?
No.
Because it's
I can meet you
closed-
Thursday
because
or
it's
Friday if
opaque.
you'd like to go over that.
Okay.
Because it's an opaque fence
I
instead
understand.
of open.
Yeah, I understand. Okay.
Got it.
And Matt, is there a requirement that they have to go back to the historical review board because of the fence? Does that have to be approved?
Yes, it would need to go back before the Historic Review Commission.
Okay.
So that you would have to have your fence picked out to go to that board, I would assume.
Okay.
I wish,
I mean-
I honestly, I wish we would have known this ahead of time. We would have
Yeah,
had this taken care of.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah,
All right.
unfortunately. yeah.
Once we're, okay,
I don't really think it's a big deal. I mean, there's a lot of people around here that
have them.
solid board fences, and
Yeah.
so that's
All
fine.
right.
It's just, we want to make sure that, going forward that, and this is the best way to handle it. And it was a great, pickup by Scott, that we can maybe vote on this, leave it open so you don't have to pay the entire registration fee again. If
Well, we
that's-
appreciate that.
if that's something the township can handle, that would be great.
Thank you.
Okay.
It would have to be advertised again, like you said, just and
Right.
go through steps and everything, but
Okay.
Mhm.
hopefully better getting it worked out now. So,
I appreciate it.
okay. Good job, Scott. Al, do you have any questions further?
No, Scott did a good job.
Yeah,
We're good.
Thank you. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, great. It's pretty self-explanatory, the size of your lot. I mean, there's really not any better place for the pool except for the corner of the yard, which you don't want to have there. So, okay. So at this point, I'll ask, are there any public comments loaded?
No public comment.
Okay. Matt, did we receive any letters of interest through the township for this one?
No, we did not.
Okay, great. Any further board comments, questions in light of anything brought up?
Myself, Dan, I'm just wondering from Keith, if the motion that he has would stand as written.
Are you, because of the fence issue?
With what we're doing, yeah, it just,
Yeah.
is that motion going to stand as written?
Yeah, well, unfortunately, I don't think it's appropriate to make a provision for something that might happen in the future or relief that they might be looking for in the future. I think it's something that it's more of a monetary issue that they'll have to work through with the township, because again, this has to be advertised again. The property's going to be posted again, so it's not going to affect today's motion.
Okay, very good.
So we can move that a pool would be able to go forward, even though there may be other logistical issues with the fence that would have to be taken care of.
Correct.
Okay.
So yeah, we're right now, we're just, we would accept a motion for the installation of the pool within the front yard setback as set forth on the agenda. Within the front yard setback of Old Locust, which is their, I guess their side yard, but, okay, would someone like to make that motion? Or make a motion?
I'll make a motion. I move that the application of Karen and Robert Mannon requesting a dimensional variance from section 209-46A of the Falls Township zoning ordinance be granted to construct an in-ground pool within the front yard setback of Old Locust Avenue at the property located at 46 Main Street, Fallsington, Pennsylvania, 19054, as depicted in the plans and in accordance with the testimony presented to the zoning hearing board.
I'll second.
Great, Scott, poll the board, please.
Myself, yes. Bill,
Yes.
Colin,
Yes.
Al,
Yes.
and Dan.
Yes. Okay, Matt, you'll follow up with Matt, or Matt will follow with you about meeting out there to talk about the fence.
Okay.
Hopefully we can get this back on the agenda for December or so and get you guys keep on moving.
Okay,
Okay.
can I ask a question? Since we are now dealing with the fence and we are moving into December, is there a time limit on the variance? Because obviously now we're getting into the winter months for a dig. I mean, will this hold?
It's
until
one
spring?
year typically.
Okay, I just wanted to double check that.
Yep. Yeah, the
Great, great.
one we just approved would be a year and the fence would be a year. So you have plenty of time
Okay,
as well, essentially, hopefully.
great.
And if you need an extension, there's not another fee. You would come back in here, you would ask for an extension.
Right, okay,
And, if everything's still reasonable, obviously we would grant.
okay,
Well, hopefully we
Fair
don't
enough.
have to ask for one of that.
yeah.
I hope so too.
Yeah.
Thank you for your time.
Schedules are getting booked
Thank
up
you.
though, you know that.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thanks. Have a great night.
All right, we can log off.
Yes.
All
Yeah.
right, all right, thank you so much, guys. Have a good night.
Welcome. You too.
Leave.
You signed.
Good evening, Robin and Steve.
Hello.
Hello.
This is petition number 2, 107 Hedgerow Drive, Robin and Steve Churinga, Marsville, PA, requesting dimensional variances for the construction of a one-story garage which encroaches into the side and rear yard setbacks. Robin and Steve, I am going to have you guys sworn in by our court reporter next. The next voice you hear will be hers.
Okay.
Do you both swear that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
We do.
Yes.
Thank you.
Great, thank you. Okay, now I'm going to have our our solicitor mark some exhibits for your petition, and then we're going to turn it over to you guys to plead your case. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, we'll mark the application for zoning ordinance appeal as DHB 1 along with the accompanying statement. 2 will be a site plan. 3, impervious calculation sheet. 4 will be 4 pages containing 7 colored photographs, one of which shows that the property was posted as required. 5 is the neighbor and applicant notification letters dated November 2nd, 2020. 6 will be the Zoom notification. 7 will be proof of publication in the Bucks County Courier Times showing that this matter was published October 27th, and then again November 3rd, 2020. I believe that is all of the board exhibits, Mr. Chairman, and I'm satisfied the appropriate notices have been satisfied, and this matter can proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Billingmeyer. Okay, Churingas, what's going on?
Okay, so first of all, thanks for hearing us tonight. And as you can see by the site plan, our house sits at an angle on a corner property. So the proposed new extension of from our 1-car garage to our 2-car garage, the front outside corner impedes on the 25-foot setback of Hedgerow Drive, which is a secondary front property. And the back outside corner of the new garage impedes on the back property line setback of 20 feet. So we applied for 2 variances because of that.
Also note that our 5-foot setback on Hedgerow is 5 feet in from the sidewalk, which seems to be a little bit more than average, I would say. They said because Hedgerow Drive, they thought would be maybe more major when they built the neighborhood. They said, you know, it might have to be expanded, so they set the property markers back more.
Yeah, and yeah, just the major issue is the fact that our house sits on an angle. So that causes the outside corner and the back outside corner to jut out beyond the setback. And that's it.
All right, great. Thank you. I am going to open it up now for some questions from our board members about your about the garage. Okay?
Sure.
Yes.
Okay, Colin, thank you.
No, I'm just looking at your property and the lot seems, your house isn't uniquely placed on your lot. So I don't have any questions.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bill.
No, I don't have any questions at this time.
Scott?
Yeah, just looking at that, looking at the apron and the driveway width that you have proposed and the existing driveway, are you going to keep that apron width and the original dimensions there at the sidewalk? You don't have any future plans for increasing the size of that driveway and making it just a huge
No, we do
driveway
not.
there?
We're going to leave the skirt 1 car and just make it on an angle. So we just cruise in on an angle. So we're not going to increase the skirt. That's what you're asking, right?
Right.
Yes, we're
Yeah,
not.
no, we're going to keep it at that angle, and the angle will conform to code as far as the 20-foot, I believe is 20 foot off the curb. We've been, it was explained to us that the angle needs to be extreme enough so that that corner sits 20 foot from the curb.
Yes, okay, very good. Thank you.
Okay,
Great, Al?
No, I have nothing.
Yeah, I have no questions. It's pretty well laid out here. So, do we have any public comments? For this
No public
petition?
comment.
No public comment. Matt, anything at the township level we should know about?
No, sir.
Okay, great. Thank you. Without further questions from our board members, would someone like to make a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Yes, Scott. Thank you.
I move that the application of Robin and Steve Charniga,
Yes, good.
requesting dimensional variances from section 20920F and table 1 of the Falls Township zoning ordinance be granted to construct a one-story garage which encroaches into the side and rear yard setbacks at the property located at 107 Hedgerow Drive, Morrisville, Pennsylvania, 19067, as depicted on the plans and in accordance with the testimony presented to the zoning hearing board.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Scott, pull the board, please.
Myself, yes. Colin,
Yes.
Al,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
and Dan.
Yes. Okay, Robin, Steve, the petition is approved. So you'll receive a letter from our solicitor.
Thank you,
about
board.
next steps.
thank you. Have a nice night.
Thank you.
Nice night. Thank you.
Okay,
All right.
bye.
Bye-bye.
She puts us in the break room, I think.
I think so.
Yeah.
We could. stop
Leave
there.
room. Do leave room.
We're leaving room.
Yeah.
Okay, we got the room clear now for petition number 3, Village of Pembroke, 9080 Mill Creek Road, Levittown, PA, requesting a use variance to allow for a hair salon. Ms. Fisher? Good evening.
Good
We-
evening. How are you guys?
Representing?
I'm sorry?
You'll be representing the?
Yes. Yes.
Excellent. Okay. So, Miss, are you an attorney, Miss Heather?
I am not. I work
Okay.
at Village of Pembroke.
Well, we're going to have you, you're representing the Village of Pembroke. I'm going to have you sworn in by our court reporter, okay?
Ms. Fisher, do you swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Thank you.
Now, Ms. Fisher, we're going to have our solicitor mark some exhibits for your petition, okay?
Mr. Chairman, we'll mark the application for zoning ordinance appeal as ZHB1, along with the accompanying statement from Village of Pembroke 2, LLC. Included in that are aerial views and also a zoning map of Falls Township. 2 will be a permit denial letter dated October 2nd, 2020. 3 is a site plan. 4 is 4 pages containing 4 colored photographs, one of which shows that the property was posted as required. 5 is the Zoom waiver from Falls Township dated October 26, 2020. 6 is proof of publication, the Bucks County Courier Times, showing that this matter was published October 27th and then again November 3rd, 2020. That is the board exhibits. What I'll do is I'll mark what's been provided in our packets as A1 for applicant 1, the affidavit of mailing, which attaches numerous residents and also property owners as required. Ms. Fisher, I've been provided the certificate of mailing and also a letter that I believe was sent to the residents. I'm going to mark that as A2. That's dated October 20th, 2020. Do you have a copy of that letter?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And you are, now that you're placed under oath, you swear and affirm that the letter that I'm marking as A2 dated October 20th was sent to the property owners as required by Falls Township ordinance?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Mr. Chairman, if I could just review the letter, give me 1 second, please.
Absolutely.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, I am satisfied. The appropriate notices have been satisfied and this matter can proceed. Thank you.
Okay, great. Ms. Fisher, all yours.
I haven't been on a Zoom meeting for, so I apologize. But we are asking for a use variance to have a hair salon put at the location of 9080 Mill Creek Road. This is it's zoned high density residential, but there was commercial, it is commercial tenants right now, and it always has been. I know there was a chiropractor here before, an ice cream place. There was a hair salon at this location not at 9080 Mill Creek Road, but in the same commercial strip prior. So I am asking for a use variance for 9080 Mill Creek Road. I'm not really sure what else I'm supposed to say.
All right, we'll find out if any other questions need to be answered, okay? I'm going to turn it over to our board for some questions now, okay? All right, Colin.
I have none.
Yep, Bill.
What was in this space prior to tonight?
It was 2 years ago, or actually since 1980, it was a dry cleaner, so you could just drop off
Okay.
your.
I just wanted to visualize. I know the area. I just didn't know which one it was. Okay, thank you.
Scott. Oh, there you go.
I have nothing, Dan.
Yep, Al.
No, I have nothing. I see no issues.
Yeah, I have no questions. Any public comments on this petition?
We have no public comment.
Matt, received any letters to the township about this petition?
No, we did not.
Would someone like to make a motion?
I'll make the motion. I move that the application of Village of Pembroke requesting a use variance from section 20916B of the Falls Township zoning ordinance be granted to allow for a hair salon at the property located at 9080 Mill Creek Road, Levittown, Pennsylvania, 19054, as depicted on the plans and in accordance with the testimony presented to the zoning hearing board.
Anyway, a second?
I'll second.
Okay, Scott, pull the board, please.
Myself, yes. Bill,
Yes.
Al,
Yes.
Colin,
Yes.
and Dan.
Yes. Okay, Ms. Fisher, the petition's approved, so you receive a letter from the solicitor's office, okay?
Thank you so much.
Great.
You guys have a great night. Thank you.
That was an easy night.
They should all be that easy. Okay. Now, December 8th, I think it is, next one.
Well, everybody had a good Thanksgiving.
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody
You
be
too.
safe. Enjoy.
Have a nice turkey day. Thank you
We
as
have a-
always.